limiting beliefs, doubting things, putting an effort into finding a way to convince yourself that things won't work instead of just putting an effort into making things work. I was in Vegas all week at the Wailopo conference, as many of you know by now, and I just got home last night and I just took a run around what I call the big block. And I was thinking about the conference and thinking about having so many great conversations with so many people. I mean, it was a terrific event, so many great people. I don't know if I should say this publicly on here, but probably the best audience I've ever spoke to. Such an engaged audience, so supportive. I mean, they were so gracious to give me a standing ovation. I thought that was very sweet of all of them. I love my audiences at my Crush It events, but at the Crush It events, there's always a mild awkwardness. There's a lot of competitors in the room usually, because usually we do them in the markets that we're in. So even though they're good audiences and they're gracious, it's not to the same extent, I would say. But anyway, side point. I want to talk about people limiting their beliefs and just having such a terrible knee-jerk reaction to look for reasons that things won't work. I got sweat coming down on my eyes. I'll give you some examples. I'm at this conference, again, wonderful people. I mean, I spoke, I was essentially the main speaker. Tom Ferry did something for a while, but I was up there for a good bit. And the crowd couldn't have been nicer, and had so many conversations with so many great people. But I have to tell you, what struck me is that probably handful of conversations with people that said things to me like, well, you're from Boston. Would the training work in California? Would it work in Texas? Would it work in Nevada? Will it work I don't think it would work in my market. And obviously I told the truth to all those people, and I said, well, we actually have active training customers who've been successful in all those states, right? Everybody that said something to me, I was able to say, well, we have customers in your state and they're using it successfully. And there were other good speakers. This guy, Eric Hatch Coaching, and Robbie, I don't know how to say his last name, he's a great guy. And these guys have a good coaching program. They're from North Dakota. And a couple people said to me, well, that's what worries me. You know, I had the same question for the Hatch Coaching folks, because they're in Dakota. I mean, that's nothing like a city. Folks. I heard the same crap 15 years ago when I was at RE/MAX, and I used to go to Craig Proctor conferences. And I'd tell people in the office I was going, and people would say to me, does that stuff work? He's from Toronto. Will that work? Limiting beliefs. So many people, I see it in my family members with family business. Knee-jerk reaction to find ways to put a legitimate effort into finding why something won't work. How about you take that same amount of effort and just put it into making it work? I have news for all of you. Whether you buy my training here from Crush It in Real Estate, you work with Hatch Coaching, you work with Buffini, Craig Proctor, Tom Ferry, the stuff works. We're not in business collecting revenue week after week, month after month, year after year, because the stuff doesn't work. You know what it reminds me of when people say to me, does TV work? Because we've been doing so much television advertising for so many years. Does it work? You know, when people said that to me the first 2 or 3 years that I did it, 07, 08, I would answer, yeah, it's working okay. Now I'm like, I want to be like, are you for real? Do you think I'm doing something for 16 years that doesn't work? Like, what the hell? That is holding so many of you back in your businesses. So many. Because you're getting too caught up and too fixated on finding things that won't work when you should just be putting effort into what will work. If you have a huge sphere of influence, if you know a lot of people and you're not getting referrals, go buy Brian Buffini's training. Go on his website and just hit the damn buy button. Okay, cut out the bullshit. Don't look for excuses not to do it. If you are having a hard time with lead generation, you're not able to produce really any leads, go on Craig Proctor's website and buy Craig's training. Just do it. My training, we offer things for lead gen, but Craig's, I would say, especially good at that. If you're having trouble converting buyers, converting sellers, time management, being productive on Facebook, buy our training. Does it work? Will it work in my market? Yes, it will. Right? I mean, come on. These Hatch Coaching guys, they have a phenomenal program to teach companies how to set up an inside sales department, to train inside sales folks on how to answer calls and how to get back to people. I mean, come on. John Cheplak, the best recruiting coach that I know of in the country. I've actually had people say to me, I heard you work with Chep. Yeah. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. John charges $2,000 a goddamn half an hour because he's terrible. I mean, come on, folks. Be real, right? You got to stop doing that. And I hope no one listens to this message and takes it like maybe my tone might come off like I'm talking down. I'm not meaning to, but being honest, I get frustrated when I get these questions. God, I'm hot. I get frustrated when I get these questions because I'm like, it's so obvious to me why so many people struggle with their businesses and why people struggle to ramp up. And it's because of what's going on up here. They're putting more effort into finding ways that things won't work than to just put effort into why things will work, right? I mean, that's a big issue. So I hope you understand that. That's a little reflection from me on the event. And hey, I just advertised for many other coaches and real estate trainers in the industry, but I don't care. I'm telling the truth. Have a great day, everyone. Happy home selling. Oh, by the way, if you're in my local market, if you're in Master, New Hampshire, I'm doing a real estate market update on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I guess I don't have to say that because I'm only talking to locals. And I'm going to talk about what is happening with the market. All right, talk to you soon.